Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a Leetcode hard question that I just solved on my own. So I'm super happy about this and I'm very glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this problem without any help. So let's go over it and let me show you how I did it. So this is question 2344, minimum deletions to make array divisible. Basically, you just want to delete as few elements from nums as possible so that the smallest element is divisible by all of the elements there. So basically what it means is the smallest element of nums, if you take every number in nums divide and you mod it by that smallest number in nums, they should all, if you mod it, it should equal to 0, right? That's it. If it's not possible, then return -1, meaning if you delete all the elements and it's still not possible to make the smallest, because there is no smallest element, return -1. So let's go ahead and do exactly that. So let's go ahead and create a sorted list out of nums because we're trying to make the smallest element, right? And we're just trying to delete the smallest at every time because we want the fewest deletions possible, right? So while SL is not empty, we're just going to iterate over nums divide, and we're going to ask the same question, setting a flag to true. So for S in SL, if n modulo, or we can just say if n modulo SL of 0, because the leftmost element in a sorted list, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 would always just be the 0th subscript. If n divided by this is not equal to 0, then we can set the flag defaults and break right away, right? Cool. If at any point the flag is true, then we can just print nums and SL. Because what that means is, and let's just pop 0 so we don't get an infinite loop, that means that that is the number of elements that we can delete, and it's the fewest because we're always going to be doing this in reverse order, right? The SL is, we're going to pop it by 0. So deleting the fewest elements means leaving as many as possible in SL. So at that point, we can just return length of nums minus the length of SL, right? That's pretty much it. And then at the end, if SL becomes empty and we've never done this, if flag is never true, at the end of this, then we can just return -1. So it's invalid, right? So let's run this and submit it. Okay. So we get time limit exceeded because you can see there's a lot of the same values. So why don't we, instead of doing this, let's just go ahead and use, let's just call this ND is a counter of nums divide so that we only loop through every element once, right? So let's do A, B in, let's call this value, frequency in nd.items. If the value is not equal to this, then flag equals false and break. So that should make it a little bit faster, right? So let's try it again. Okay, almost there. So again, the problem is that SL is also very, very big. So why don't we just do the same thing for, so we can make SL unique as well, right? So in this case, why don't we just try to see what we can delete? So if we're deleting that from SL, why don't we just make this a sorted set instead? Because if we're popping, right, it's still going to be the same result. So sorted set would make this a lot faster because we're not covering 2 so many times only once, right? Okay, cool. So now we just have to find basically all the frequencies of 3 and all the frequencies of 4, delete them, the whole thing minus that. So 5 minus 1, 2, 3, then that's just going to be 2, right? It's the first one, which is just going to be the best because we've deleted the other 3 elements from SL. So why don't we just do this? Let's call this now is 0 for, and let's make an original counter. And let's say for A, B in original.items, again, if, so we can basically just loop over the SL and then add of original of A, which is just going to give us the frequency, right? So now if we print now, we should get 3. Okay? So original of S. Okay, cool. So then in that case, we can just do length of nums minus now, because that's the fewest deletions that we've made so far. So it's kind of greedy, right? So let's run it, submit it, and there you go. Passes all test cases. So again, I'm super happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance and solve it completely on my own. So that's it for question 2344. This is a hard non-premium question.